Thursday, March 21st edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. Had a pretty decent day yesterday as spring arrived. Highs in the 50s in many spots across the region. 56 in Charlotte, 55 in Greensboro and Raleigh. Upper 50s for Fayetteville, Jacksonville, and Wilmington. 47 yesterday in Boone. But now a fresh supply of cold, dry Arctic air settling in. It's down to 21 degrees during the 5 a.m. hour in Boone, 37 degrees in Greensboro, down to 36 in Charlotte, 39 in Raleigh. And is it going to be cold? It's going to be breezy too. So we're looking at wind chill values today. Very, very chilly. This is what Stormcast is printing out for wind chill values this afternoon. And at best, many of us probably going to be in the 30s for those wind chill values, and of course even colder up in the mountains. Let's check out some temperatures across parts of the country. Again, keep in mind, this is the first full day of spring, so a lot of cold air in many, many places. Look at Fosston, Minnesota, Devils Lake, North Dakota, 15 degrees below zero. Even down into the Midwest, a lot of teens, and that chilly air continues to spill on into our region. It's going to be a struggle to get some Piedmont highs in the low to mid 40s at best today. And again, you add in that stiff northwest wind, it's going to feel even colder than that. A little bit milder as we get on into the day tomorrow, but still quite cool, well below average. And that well below average temperature trend continues for us right into the weekend. Precipitation wise, not much today. But here comes the next little system moving in from the west. Could bring some snow to places like northern Arkansas and even maybe parts of Tennessee. And you notice the RPM even printing out some brief periods of snow in the northeast Georgia mountains with this by late tomorrow and tomorrow night. I think that round of precip might make it into at least southern North Carolina by tomorrow night. But the bulk of the precip will be with the next system that will mainly affect us Saturday night and Sunday. Here is the overall setup for us. This looks like a classic Miller B type of setup, meaning you have one low that tracks up near or west of the mountains, and that transfers then to a coastal low thereafter. And so for most of us, that looks to bring us a chilly rain, a very chilly rain, Saturday night and Sunday. But I do think we need to keep an eye on maybe a possibility here in maybe the northern foothills areas and down into this area. Could even wind up with some snow certainly down into there before the system is said and done. We will see. That's far from a certainty. Let me show you what the GFS prints out for snow totals with this. And you notice by far the heaviest snow is further to the north. And the European, same general idea. The Virginias and up into Ohio and Pennsylvania, the heaviest corridor of snow here over the next 4 to 5 days or so. So on to some of the more detailed modeling here. And this is the European upper air chart today. Our next system beginning to take shape over the Rockies. By the time we get out to 96 hours here, there we go. This is Sunday evening. There's your disturbance over Kentucky. And by 120 hours, that system is exiting off the coast. So at the surface, here's what you wind up with. We'll take it day by day. Today is going to be a cold, blustery day. Tomorrow, now the European keeps things dry once you get, say, east of Georgia through tomorrow. Now we get on into the weekend. This is 72 hours, so this is Saturday evening, and still you have very little precipitation through Saturday afternoon over the Carolinas. But thereafter, the precip develops in through the night, Saturday night. And again, you're looking at a pretty well-defined cold air damming signature there. You can see that kinking of the isobars. And again, that's a general Miller B-type setup. Ongoing. Now, at the time that precipitation moves in, there's the 850 millibar temperatures on the European. You notice that freezing line dipping down into far northern and northwestern North Carolina, but that retreats slightly northward as we go through the day Sunday, so that's indicating mainly a chilly rain, I believe, for most spots in North Carolina on the European model. And by Sunday evening, here comes the surface chart, if we can get that to load for us. There we go. You can see that's what it looks like on the European by 96 hours. Then by 102 hours, one last little batch of precip with the upper level energy rippling on through. Okay, how does that compare with the European ensemble here? Let me show you what it looks like at 84 hours on the ensemble. Actually, that's the GFS. Let me get the European model up for you here, if I can. There you go. That's the European ensemble Sunday evening. Overall, pretty similar to the operational run. There are some differences, but pretty similar. Now, the GFS ensemble, this is Sunday morning, and this is a textbook case of a Miller B scenario. One low over eastern Tennessee, the coastal low forming, and then 12 hours later, the coastal low is taken over on the GFS ensemble. So what does that mean at the surface on the GFS? Well, first of all, it brings that round of rain and precipitation Friday evening further to the north, but most of the modeling keeps that further to the south initially. But then you get into Saturday night and Sunday. This is the precip through the night, Saturday night leading up to Sunday morning. Very well defined cold air damming signature. And then you get on out to 96 hours. That's Sunday evening. And that's how the system unfolds. Let me show you a chart from the Canadian model here. This is valid overnight, Sunday night. You can see enough cold air damming for some mixed precipitation types there in the mountains and maybe the northernmost foothills, but mainly a chilly rain, of course, for the Piedmont. A couple of WPC charts here. This is Sunday morning. One low over Tennessee and Kentucky, and then by the time you get to Monday, the coastal low is taken over Monday morning there off the Virginia coast. And let's see if I have anything else to show you. That's probably good enough. One other thing I'll show you is, again, we stay very chilly as we go through next week. A lot of below average temperatures continuing, and that's all the way out to next Thursday morning, the 28th. And you see the low temperatures, this is on the GFS, freezing or below, deep down south of I-20 into Alabama and Georgia, South Carolina. So still a lot of chilly air, a lot of below average temperatures to go for much of the rest of the month. All right, that's it for today's edition of the video. Thank you for watching. Have a great Thursday. Stay warm, and God bless.